this morning is get a chance to go into a little bit about document cameras themselves, both from the document camera perspective as well as the webcams that were delivered to tech coaches. But a big focus on these meetings when we do them is we want to remind you and help you out with ways that you can help your teachers out. So that's just one of those pieces we're looking at. You'll want to make sure on your live meeting this morning that you've got on your media controls there, you've got your microphone and your webcam muted at this time, but your speaker's open. And you want to have, it should have brought up the video panorama, should have been brought up on its own for you. But if not, make sure that you have your voice and video tab open, because that will be part of what we go over today. Virginia is here with me, and we've got the panoramics. You should be able to see her. Say hello, Virginia. So,
hi.
There she is. So we're trying this out. This worked a week ago with the network managers, and we want to continue to use this so that you can see roundtable when we have a lot of people there. Okay. Again, what we're going to have is, on these live meetings, is a chance to kind of show you some of the things that you can do. As a tech coach, you do have a communicator license, and so by doing that, you can run and present live meetings this way for your faculty, and the faculty, even without that communicator, can join on and attend those meetings. So you may want to consider this as one way that you can share professional development and some of that tech training at your school. So you might want to think about that from that perspective. The other thing is as a use of that webcam, of course you can do video conference with us, with other technology coaches to collaborate. I know that I was told about a lot of the things going on at the Teacher Expo this week, and that was just fantastic. So I hope that everyone is getting a chance to build that contact list. If you're wanting a little more training on Communicator and the live meeting, look for a Blackboard class that will be made available in December on Communicator. And so it'll kind of walk you through some of the steps to best use that webcam for the Communicator aspect itself. Okay? What we want to do right now is go over some of the most common questions we get on document cameras is how we set them up. And so let me bring up a notebook file here that we have. And on this notebook file, you'll see where it shows the different cords that you need for the various purposes that you want to use the document cameras for. And so here you see it just using the projector and screen. Most of the classrooms now have the VGA wall plates. And so simply to use it like a 21st century overhead, all you really need is one VGA cord from the document camera to that wall plate or the back of the projector. And make sure on the document camera that you've selected the source to be the camera. Okay, that's the aspect to it. And that's going to be just a shear. You put something underneath, it projects to the screen. Now, if you want to go a little bit further, you're going to have to bring your computer involved to that. And for the computer aspect, you can still use just that screen and projector, but now you're going to have the one VGA cord from the document camera to the wall still. But now on your VGA into the camera, you have to have that connected to your computer as well as the USB cord. In addition to that, you have to have the document camera software loaded on your computer. And at the document camera itself, you will have you want to make sure the source says PC or computer, depending on the model document camera you have. And so that's the way that you can use that, and we're going to touch base just briefly with that in just a minute. But this is another setup here. And finally, if you're using it with a smart board as well, now not only are you going to maintain those same connections we had to the document camera of the last screen, but in addition to that, you have to have the USB cord going from the smart board to the computer as well. And with that, of course, you make the alignment on the smart board between the projector and the computer and the smart board. So this is the sum total of what you need to make it active, where you can use that document camera and into the smart notebook, and you can control it at the smart board itself. So that is something that you can think about. Now remember that as we're going through this, if you go into your handout section, which is up at the top right next to where your media controls are, you see there's 3 little documents there, handouts. If you click on that, you can download a copy of that notebook file or a PDF made from that notebook file for those connections. And that might help you with some of your teachers so they can keep those cords straight. We found that that's one of the pieces, like I said, that they've really been struggling with, is just making the actual connections in their classroom, especially when they have to put away all the materials at the end of the day or whatnot. Sometimes bringing it back out the next day, it takes them a little while to get that reset up. Now, the other thing we want to look at is the actual document camera itself. And this is the software running on my computer. And you see that here we have, it's being displayed. So the camera should follow me around as I walk over here. Okay, so a document camera, when you're using it this way, and I hope you probably can see that we're displaying this on the screen too. One of the things you can do with the document camera, and my favorite thing, was always in the classroom using it to show editing of papers and building class papers together, so that you can come through and you can show people exactly how you should be working on this. And you can demonstrate whether it's spelling errors, whether you want to show how things should move around, whether you want to come in and give them some of the excellent things that they're doing in their work. That's some of the aspects that you'll want to use that document camera for. Additionally, you can always have people come through and actually explain and show their math work. So they're working on the classwork or homework and bringing it in. And here you can go through it. Now you don't have to worry about the vis-a-vis pins. You don't have to worry about transparencies. You don't have to take that extra time to transfer over to the overheads. Instead, now you're simply having the child bring their work up to the document camera and be able to display it from there. Now remember, when you're doing this and you have that the work in front of you, one of the things that you can do is go into it and take still shots or videos as well. So you have to have the software on your computer to do this. And if you go into taking the snapshots, and we want to grab a snapshot of that of the classwork that's underneath there, you should be able to go through. You simply click on that, and you will get your browse window. Let me go through and say this. I think it's popping up with a little gray area there. Just a second. Okay, and so with that, you have the Save As button, and here you can make whatever the title you'd want it to be. So here you could just say Math Work 11/2009, and you could save that to your desktop or your My Documents, whatever the case would be. And from there, then you would have a snapshot of it. You can bring that back in. And from at that point, we can bring back up that math work as a JPEG. We open that back up, and it shows us exactly what that work is. And you see at the top, on ours, we're getting a date and time stamp as well, so that can help you out. Now, one of the other things that's kind of neat is, you see what I'm going to do here is just drag and drop that JPEG. I'm going to pull that down into my Smart and bring it up. If you're using Smart Notebook, just like that, you can bring in your pictures of the student work and bring it into Smart, and now you can mark it up with any of those Smart Notebook tools. And so if you're not familiar with some of those Smart Notebook tools, you don't have to have a Smart Board or an Airliner to take advantage of some of the opportunities with that. And I do highly encourage you and your staff to take some of the Smart Notebook classes we offer on Tuesday, Thursday evenings. And we're doing a little bit of a different format with it next semester as well. And so make sure they're looking at the PDF scheduler if they want any of that Smart Notebook help at all for it. Okay, so that's just your basic uses of the DocCam, remembering that you can do the snapshots, you can take the videos, you can use it with Smart Notebook software. The other thing that we wanted to do is give you a chance. Kitty had made a video dealing with the webcams and using those to take still shots and using that with PhotoStory. So we're going to take a few minutes and we're going to run through the video that Kitty made. And at the very end, after that video has played, then we're going to open it up so if people want to, you open up your webcams and microphones and we can share a little bit then. As I said before, we are recording this and we will make it available to you later today.
Good morning. I'd like to talk to you today about using your webcam for other things than just video conferencing. Obviously, that is one of the main reasons you have a webcam, and you hopefully will use it for video conferencing, not only with us at STS, but also other tech coaches around the county. Another great way to use your webcam is to video conference with other classes that you have already been communicating with as pen pals. You can communicate with your classes in other states, even other countries with your webcam. That's another great use for your webcam. But I'd like to show you a different way to use your webcam. We did cover it in the training this summer. Maybe this will be a refresher for you. But another way to use your webcam is to use it as, you can kind of use it as a document camera, and I'd like to show you how. First of all, you would, of course, open up your Logitech webcam. You also need to create a folder either on your desktop or in your My Documents, wherever you feel comfortable creating a folder, and call it whatever you'd like to call it. Mine, I'm calling it Digital Stories. I created this folder to put my webcam pictures in. Now I'm going to start a new digital story because I'm going to show you how to do it. So I'm going to create a new folder in my Digital Stories folder. I'm going to call it, I can either name it the date or the story that we made, the digital story. So I'm going to just call it Goldilocks. Okay. Now that's where I want my pictures to save automatically. I'm going to exit out of there. Then on my Logitech QuickCam toolbar, I'm going to click on the gears to change the settings for where I want my pictures to be saved. The fourth tab down, click that, and then under Select Photo Storage Folder, click Browse. I'm going to, of course, go to my desktop, find the Digital Stories folder, expand that, and click on the Goldilocks folder because that's where I want these particular pictures to go. Say OK. Now that's where the default setting is. Now my pictures are automatically going to go into that folder when I take them, and they're going to automatically save in that folder. Okay, once the students have sequenced the story, they are going to, in little groups, of course, we're going to do cooperative groups. They're going to sequence the story. They're going to draw pictures to put that story in order, draw their illustrations. Once their illustrations are finished, you can use the webcam as a document camera to take pictures of those illustrations. If you'll notice, on the side of your webcam, there's a button. That is a capture button. All you have to do is press that button, and it takes a snapshot of whatever you're aiming it at. Once you've taken a picture of, or you've captured all of your illustrations in a student's story, then you would open PhotoStory 3. That is the easiest one to use. You could use Movie Maker, but right now I'm going to demonstrate with PhotoStory. Open PhotoStory 3. And it's extremely easy. You're going to begin a new story. That's the default, so leave that alone. Click the Next button. Click Import Pictures. Find the folder that you saved those pictures in. Okay, I can select all by pressing and holding the Control button down and then pressing the A button. I'm going to hold the Control button down because I do not want that folder, of course, to be imported. And I'm going to make sure all of my pictures are highlighted and say OK. That's all there is to it. Now all of my pictures are imported into PhotoStory 3. If I don't like the arrangement or if they're not arranged correctly, all that you need to do in PhotoStory is click and drag the picture or the illustration wherever you want it to be. And to preview it in this little window, you click on it once. Okay, that's page 2. Let's see if the rest are in order. Okay, they seem to be in order. Now I'm going to hit the Next button. If you want something to appear, if you want a little caption to appear on the page, then you would type the text in here. But on this page I don't need any because I have, they've written it on the title page. I'm going to click Next. Here is where you would want to record for each page. Now, in order to record in PhotoStory 3, you can only record per picture. You cannot record continuously from one picture to another. So in this little box right here, you would have the students go over what they might want to say, and they would type whatever they want to read for that particular slide. Let's say they're just going to read it. Okay, then all they would do, when they're ready to record, they would hit the Record button and record what they want to say. Hit the Stop button when they are finished recording for that picture. When they are ready to go to the next picture, they would click, actually this little arrow right here, Next Picture, and then they would record for that picture. You can also customize the motion as far as how the picture comes into your presentation. You can specify the start and end of the position of the picture. This particular one looks like it's zooming in. I can also change the type of transition by clicking on the Transition tab. I can preview it. If I don't like that, then I can change it. I can also change the duration of each picture depending on how long the recording is, but I believe the picture will last as long as the recording. I'm ready to record for the next picture. I go to the next slide, type what I want to say, or the student would type what they want to say for this picture, and then record for that picture. Once you're finished recording for each slide or picture, click the Next button. You can put music behind the story. The students can choose to do that. If they do, then you can either select music already on your computer or create your own music by music that's pre-made MIDI files. You can make them slow or fast. You can preview it to decide if you like it or not. If you were to choose something and you said OK, you would definitely want to set the volume quite low so that you can hear the students talking behind the story. You can preview it, the story. Once you're finished putting the story together exactly the way, or the students finished putting the story together exactly the way they want it, then they would click Next. Now here's where the trick comes in. You want to save the project itself, yes, but you also want to make it a movie. So here we're going to export it as a movie so it will play in Windows Media Player on any computer. When you save the project, it will only play in PhotoStory 3. So we're going to save it for playback on our computer. We're going to tell it where to save the story. Now I can save it in my videos folder, but I'm going to save it in, whoops, but I'm going to save it in the folder, my Digital Stories folder, in the story that I just created, in that folder. And as you can see, it's going to be a WMV extension. I'm going to rename it the story that it is. I'm going to click Save. Now it's not rendered yet. Now we have to render it to make it a WMV. So then you click the Next button. It's building the story. It's putting it together as one project, as one movie. Now think of the possibilities that you could use this for. Use your imagination. The sky's the limit. The students will love this. They'll get so much out of it. I've seen teachers use this for math, for students to explain how they got a math problem, the answer to a math problem. Use it in whatever subject you would like to. And another thing, I know your ITV teacher would absolutely love some of these things to use them on the morning show, because they're always looking for academic items to put on the show. So don't be stingy. Share your projects with them. This takes a little while to render, depending on how long the story is. Once it finishes, it's going to ask you if you want to view your story, if you want to create another one, and that is entirely up to you. And the PhotoStory 3 is so easy to use. Your students will pick it up very quickly. And then you can view your story. And again, it opens in Windows Media Player. That's just one idea, a creative idea of how you can use the webcam in your classroom other than just video conferencing. If you have any questions, go ahead and type them in now, or you can email myself, Kitty.Sawyer, or you can email Steve Nolan or Russ Bowie to ask any questions about using the webcam as a document camera to create digital stories. Thank you for joining us.
Okay. Thank you very much. Let's see here. Looks like the video stopped. But basically now, as Kitty went over, using that, the webcam you can use to capture those and put them into PhotoStory. You have the standalone document camera, like we were demonstrating earlier. That could be used to grab those pictures and save them as JPEGs and do the same thing in PhotoStory. And so we just wanted to give a few extra ideas on some things that your teachers may not be aware of doing yet, and that might be something you can help to train with them. At this point, if you'd like to, open up your microphone, share your video out, and we'll field some questions, and we'll stay on for a little while. We've got a few more minutes, and if you have anything that you'd like to either share or questions for us, you can feel free to do so at this time.